Omeo presents Journey of Transformation. Omeo. Join, sweat, thrive together.
Hello, my name is Omeo. I'm one of the Muay Thai fighters from Bangladesh. Basically, I have been doing Muay Thai for the past 10 years, and I am the first and only Asian champion from our country. I won the championships in 2019 December, and I have also competed in East Asian Championship where I've got a bronze. And with that, I also own 1/3 of it's the most premier gym in Bangladesh, and premium combat gym in Bangladesh. That's called Vanquish Combat Gym, and this is my story. I know about the app Fitsomnia about a month ago, so I feel like the way this app's going to help us is us as fighters. One of the main key aspects of our fighting is the weight categories. So every fighter must make a certain weight in order to fight. For example, I have become a champion, like I was a champion at 63.5. So if I don't make the weight limit at 63.5, I wouldn't get paid, or I wouldn't be able to fight in an organization. So in order to make the weight, we gotta always focus on our diet. So fighters are normally 6 to 10 kgs over their weight limit, or let's say at least 5 kgs over their weight limit, so that they keep the power once they rehydrate right before the weigh-ins. So we have to make the weight. That's one of the most important things in our sport. In order to do that, the number one thing that we gotta keep in check, apart from our training, is the diet. So if our diet isn't in check, we won't be able to, let's say, make the preferred weight that we want to make and achieve and hope to fight in an organization and Olympics and stuff. So I competed in the Muay Thai Olympic version, that's called the IFMA. So I had to make a weight of 63.5 before my competition. So if I knew and it would have been a way easier for me to make the weight. So I guess Fitsomnia has this simulation where you're gonna hold your partners accountable. You get to post new recipes of your diet. Everyone's posting their diet, and which you feel like you're a part of a community. Once you feel like you're in a part of a community, that's when you get to progress in your diet. And if your diet's in check, you're gonna lose those pounds way faster, and that's how you can make the weight. And it's not just for us. Anyone who wants to get, let's say, shredded, whatever you use the term, wants to get fit. Most people in our country, in the fitness industry, we see the number one problem we usually face is we eat a lot of rice. So most of the time we are a bit overweight. So most people have to lose that weight. Diet is the number one way. No matter what kind of training you're doing, you're a triathlete. If your diet isn't in check, you can never outrun a bad diet, is what they say. So this app, along with a lot of other community aspects, community is another thing. Like if you, let's say, post on Fitsomnia that today I'm going to Vanquish Combat Gym, a lot of other people might see from other gyms who they want to, like, let's say they want to visit a martial arts gym and they don't know where to go, and someone's going there, they're having a blast, they're having a good time, they're learning. And then once you share your experience, 10 other people get to see that. And after those 10 people visited, maybe 3 of them visited, out of that slowly 100 people know about the gym, and that's how you become a part of a community. You get good reviews, you put your diet in check, and that's how fighters and athletes from our sport is getting help from this app. So I hugely recommend that people start using this app, and I can't wait for this app to get big in Bangladesh and face that boom in the future, inshallah. It's almost been 8 years since I'm doing Muay Thai, but I've been in this combat sport for 10 years. Before that I used to do other martial arts, and then I found Muay Thai, and then it clicked right away. So I started, when I started at a gym called VO2 Urban Fitness. It was in Gulshan 1, Road 8. So this was the precursor gym to Vanquish. I was a student back then. So that gym was owned by a partner of mine, which is Isata, a very big Boro Bhai of mine. He had a very huge impact in my life. So I started Muay Thai around that time, like 8 years ago. And then I was doing boxing as well. And then I just clicked with Muay Thai. The reason why I started doing Muay Thai and boxing was I was watching a lot of MMA, UFC fights back then. Even 8 years ago, UFC wasn't this popular like nowadays, but it was still a thing. People used to watch. I used to watch kickboxing fights, and I used to watch a lot of MMA fights. Before that, I was mainly inspired by a very popular movie back then. It's called Ong Bak. It featured Muay Thai fights and stuff. So I used to love this actor called Tony Jaa. So I used to be a huge fan. So I thought Muay Thai was a lot about jumping and all those things. When I joined the gym, I realized, oh, that was for the movies. You don't actually jump in real life. So then I started doing the art, and I suddenly fell in love with the whole art. And after that, when I started, after 8 months, they suddenly, like Isar Bhai and everyone from the community, Muay Thai Federation, they started saying, you have talent, so you don't need to pay, you can fight. Your training is free. We're planning on making you a premier fighter. Then I was like, okay. So I was pretty young back then, only about 15, 16. When I was like taken up for like they might make me into a fighter. But then I got prepared for like 3 years, and I think at 17 I had my first fight. I became the national champion, and then was right away scheduled for an Asian championship fight. So that was a very big step up in competition because I never fought. Let alone in the East Asian or any kind of those fights. I even never fought out of the country before the Asian Championships in 2019. So when the opportunity came, I took it up. Since us Bangladeshi fighters, we don't get a lot of time to get prepped. Now we do, because now we have sponsors. Back then we didn't have a lot of sponsors. Luckily, I was sponsored by United Group at that time. They helped me fight in the event in Asian Championship, which was held in Abu Dhabi. I went there, and through luck and sheer determination, I won that's a long story how I won that event, but luckily I won the event and became the first Asian champion from our country, and that's kick-started my taking these things completely seriously. After that time, I've been like completely devoted to this art. So 2019, I got a lot of exposure. I had made some amount of cash as well. And that's how I decided to slowly get into the business side of this sport as well. So then COVID hit, training was off. I was feeling very low at that time because I became the champion, but then I didn't have any, let's say, a lot of recognition because COVID was a very big pandemic situation then. Even though I was featured in TV shows, not in TV shows, in let's say our local newspapers and certain khobor channels and those news channels. But since the pandemic was such a big thing, people really didn't bait an eye on my sport and on me. After that, last year, I got back to the sport. I participated in the East Asian Championship. This time I was a bit overweight because I had series of injuries in the pandemic when I had like less training. I had a very serious ligament injury, and because of that I had like gained a lot of weight. So I fought in a weight class that I wasn't supposed to fight. I was very undersized for the weight class. Yet I managed to secure bronze in the East Asian Championships, which is still like a downgrade from my Asian Championship. But at least I'm still on the path, and now I'm, alhamdulillah, 100%, I would say 100% recovered from my injury, and I'm slowly starting to get back to my weight class, and I can't wait to compete. Now we have found another very, very big company, Boshundara Group, who's helping us with our sponsorships and fights and everything. So that's the future plan. But in future, we plan on making our own promotion in our country, because that's the way to fight against these foreign fighters. Because if you have more fights in the country, let's say if a fighter can fight every month, like once a month, every month, like if a fighter gets to fight in our country, that's like a lot of practice in, and then we can go to the international champion. Like I was thrown away to the Asian Championship caliber fighters. Luckily I won, but statistically we shouldn't have won, because there are like 10 to 11 more fighters who went outside to fight in Muay Thai. None of them really got the victory because we don't fight often in our country. We don't have the space to compete. There are not a lot of promotions in our country. We plan on making this premier promotion with certain big groups, and we plan on doing this. Vanquish Combat is going to play a very key role in this. So we plan on opening 2 more gyms from Vanquish Combat Gym, and slowly we are diversifying our community. And we are always doing a lot of joint venture, joint works. Vitsomni is one of them. We're working with these groups so that we can upskill ourselves, and inshallah one day we might have a world champion from our country, so that people can say that Bangladesh isn't inferior in fighting. Fighting is in our DNA. We should remember that. So I feel like that is the goal, and that is what we're working for. So inshallah one day we'll have Olympic gold medal. We don't have any Olympic gold medalists in our country in any sport. One day we'll have those. One day we'll have all the world champion and everything. So inshallah, looking forward to that. Till then, everyone just keep on working with your dreams, because dreams come true. And I really hope the future holds a lot for us. for Vanquish Combat Gym, for this fighting community, and Fitsomnia. So see you guys.